What's up, guys? Xraypc here, and these are the best mons I feel like to get you through the game. And I'm gonna go through just like I'm just gonna spit fire through them, and I don't want to like make this video too long, so we're just gonna go over them, and then you can like I'll maybe the most important ones I'll go over like why I feel like in depth. So like obviously just Agumon and Gabumon, Bond of Bravery, Bond of Friendship. Those are the ones you get with the $120 DLC. You get a special unlock, but I'm pretty sure I haven't seen it yet, but I haven't been able to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure War Greymon can just turn into this. If not, this is the $120 one. The Lotusmon, because this is early unlocks, I'm pretty sure you can just get it normally. Lotusmon is one of the best supports, I think, in my opinion. So this is one that I'll go into detail a little bit on why, because you don't really, people look at Lotusmon and they don't like. She isn't really that like she's visually appealing, but people won't know why. Why I think she's really OP. All enemy AoE has a chance to apply chaos. 55 damage, that's decently strong. The single target, the main things are these two skills. So she has a debuff that is 100% chance to land, 30% reduction, which is the highest, I think the highest reduction, I think that's the highest I've ever seen is 50%, but that's on a one turn from King Edamon, who's I'll talk about later. So 100% chance of 30% reduction to defense and magic resist. So literally, whoever you hit with this is just gonna get annihilated, and it's a 3-turn. So if you literally do this 100, like it's 120% after 4 uses, and it's 120%. Even if you don't want to max it out because you want to use other skills and things like that, but weave different things in there. Maybe somebody needs to heal or whatever. You could just do it 3 times and then focus on other stuff, like buffing your team now. And you could buff your team by doing this. So you have a heal, single target, that recovers HP based on the user's magic resist. So the more magic resist she has, the better. And 100% chance of a 20% boost to intellect for 3 turns. So you could also stack that with the other one where it's when you, I think it's the bottom right tree, and I think it's either the bottom right tree or the top left tree, I can't remember. But it's, let me see actually, while we're talking about it. But yeah, you buff their int, and you'll buff their int twice, while the other ones get buffed once every time you use it on them. So she's really good with an intellect user, but she could be used with anybody because if you get that one. If you don't get that one, then yeah, she's mainly just an intellect user. She does reduce their defense with her debuff, but. And remember, she's pure single target heal and oh no, the debuff I think, yeah, but both single target, Let's see, Digimon Time Changer personality. There you go. Alright, so this is on this Reddit. Let's close it so you guys can see it. Digimon, I just looked up Digimon Time Stranger personality guide, and then that pops up. And then there you go. It is the amicability, which is your friendship attack tree. So the top right one of this one is attack focus, and it is also boosts all the target stats when using skills to recover an ally's HP. So that's why I like, and you can see like things like this. It boosts your spirit based on the user's HP. So when the higher your healer's HP, the more spirit they have, the bigger their heal. You could also do like this one, first aid. Also, first aid also removes a target's injury when using skills to recover the ally's HP. That might be one of the best ones in the entire game, just because injury is a debuff that when they have it, they can't be healed. But if you use your heal, it removes their injury, meaning they also get healed. So it removes their debuff and they get healed. This is probably one of the best ones in the game for New Game Plus, because you can't use items, so you won't be able to use an item to get rid of the injury. So it's better to just get rid of the injury and heal them at the same time. First in line, always act first. I guess you can get first in line on this one and this one. And oh yeah, Great Embrace, overheal up to 200% of the target's max HP. So that one's really good with this one, where it's boost strength based on the user's HP. Honestly, that was good for all of them. All of them will get more scaling, so there's a cap on amount of HP you could have, but this goes over that cap, and it'll double that. So whatever your cap is, which is 9,999, it will double that, and then you can go higher than that. I think Hustle Cry, which extends the duration of buff effects applied by the user's skills by 2 turns. That actually is really good. That one could actually be really good. I think you always want a healer and you want a buffer, and somebody like this is really good because they're a healer and a buffer, so they can kind of fill both avenues. But you definitely always want a healer, a buffer, a debuffer, and then you want like one of them to at least have some kind of like offensive like option, and then you want like a hyper physical DPS, a hyper magical DPS, and then you definitely want somebody who can kind of fill one of the two, like whatever you're kind of focusing on. So maybe your debuffer is like a really good defense reducing debuffer, right? Or you have her where she could just do both. Or you have like you can have like Platinum Numemon, who's another one good one. If I can find him, there he is. So he has magic resist decrease, but it's only 10%. But this one is a 30%, like hers. It has attack and defense. So you're reducing their damage and reducing their defense. So they take more physical damage. And then also because he's reducing their attack, he also has insane attack. Also, you could put things on that, like let's say, which is I think you should put on him, is hate charge. So you could literally give him a taunt. You definitely want him to have some kind of other offensive option, so he's not just a completely useless piece of turd. And he's a physical DPS, so you could say, let's just say you put in, let's just put something on him like the neutral ones, because neutral one is good right there. And then let's say you just want him pure. So that one. On use, you reflect the damage. So he already lowers their attack, and I think he lowers their intellect, and he lowers their magic resist, and so you want to buff your team with him, because he already has a lot of debuffs. Or you could just go, yeah, you could do these. So you could do like, let's say I want crystallization. So I can make it so they can't use abilities, and I could do sleep as well. I think I'm gonna do character reversal on him, right? So now when he hits them, if they're a vaccine, they swap. So I think it's vaccine becomes a data type becomes a vaccine type, and a vaccine type becomes a virus type. Wait. Yeah, so you hit a vaccine, they become virus. A virus becomes data, and a data becomes a vaccine. They just flip their thing. So if you're going against a boss, and let's say your main DPS is let's say BL Starmon, I'm a virus, right? Let's not say these guys are unknown, but let's say BL Starmon, I'm a virus, right? And this is my main DPS. Or let's say like Junimon. So Junimon HM mode is H mode, whatever, I don't know, is a virus type, and I destroy everything. She destroys like other viruses because you're doing neutral damage, and she does insane damage, right? Especially if they end up being like a humanoid virus or a humanoid angel virus, and you destroy data types, because obviously that's what the virus is good against. But if you go against a vaccine type, the one thing she's weak to, you could go character reversal and then turn that person into a vaccine or a virus, and then you could do at least neutral damage to it. So that's super good there. King Edamon is another one, I think, because like anybody could just go, you could go any damage, and I'll show other damages, but like I feel like the debuffers and the healer ones, like the actual support mons, are where, especially on mega difficulty, which I'm playing on, the new game plus, is where it's like really gonna come down. And so like this guy, taunt, 100% chance of 50% reduction attack int for one turn, applies taunt to himself, and then you just put a bunch of debuffs and buffs and healers and stuff. I think, what was it again? Oh yeah, 100% the chance to apply injury. You need him like for anything that is a boss that just spams heals on itself. So always say before every boss, you go to the boss fight, and all of a sudden that boss fight just heals and heals, and everything in New Game Plus is going to tank a ton of damage and do a ton of damage. So having somebody like him where you could is a 100% chance to anti-heal is really good. Obviously, like this is what I say, like DPS like this, like AoE 100 damage, but it consumes all your SP. 110 damage, 75% chance reduces as defense and as SPI or as magic resist. But you could get people who get rid of stat debuffs or stat downs and things like that. And somebody who does do that is Venusmon. Venusmon has an AoE heal for your whole team that removes all stat debuffs on your entire team, and then has a single target DPS move that can remove stat buffs on the enemy, and has a 100% chance to reduce their attack and intellect. So on top of doing very little damage, the main thing is that it's pretty much just a glorified debuff that lowers their attack and intellect, so they're doing less damage, and gets rid of all their stat buffs, so they're doing even less damage, or it even might be less tankier and things like that, unless it's a debuff or unless it's a buff that can't be removed. That's the only thing that kind of screws her. Another one is, where the heck is it? These ones are like, these guys are really good. If the target is affected by stat changes, increase damage. So anything like that, he has one. Digimon has one. If the target is affected, so this is stat ups or stat downs. So they got defense buff, that still works, and they got a defense down, that works even better, obviously. So if you reduce their defense by 120% and hit them with that move is going to do more damage by the defense. So they're like pretty much penetrating their defense with 120% reduction because it stacks 4 times. Or you could also get the extra damage too, so it's like 50% more damage or something. Xraypc, that's one I think of? No, wait. Oh, there's a go. Rosemon Burst Mode, always hits 100% chance to reduce their light resist. So anybody with things like that, reducing light resist, the Agumon one where reducing fire, there's like earth reduction, ice reduction. Shoot, there's even champions that do this. If you really want, you can't find one that's like an ultimate or a mega, that you could get champions like the Goblimon ones. The ice Goblimon reduces ice resist, or just getting things like that, 60% chance to apply chaos. Those are the main ones I found that are like actually that insane. I mean, this one's cool. If the target has 50% or higher HP, more damage. You know, there's weird things like that you could find. It's not as hard. It's not as easy to find that. There's so many mods in the game. Crystallization's always good to have because you could silence them. 30% chance to put deep slumber. So no matter what you do, they will never wake up, and it's like a long debuff. And then yeah, reduction to speed. It's just you could go through the entire list and find ones, but that's the easiest way to kind of find the ones I said. And then these are like for sure, like if you have the chance to make this, please make Lotusmon, please make Platinum Numemon, King Edamon. That's gonna make your entire gameplay through way better. Let's see. That's pretty much. I can't remember another one. This one's really good. AoE null type that has 6% chance to apply deadly poison. From what I remember, deadly poison actually does a ton of damage, especially in these longer fights. You don't realize it until you get to New Game Plus, where everything's taking like, even the rookies, I'm like running up to a rookie, and I'm gonna show you guys right here, but running up to a rookie and I do no damage. Right? I'm like, wow, I didn't even one-shot that. And it didn't kill both Mons. And these Mons, I literally was one-tapping the entire story until literally pretty much the finale of the entire game. So this is where buffers, debuffers are going to be coming in handy. The end of the game when you're doing like the raids and stuff like that, like fights I don't want to spoil, but yeah, there's like end game raids right before you beat the game. You could do a bunch of like the 40 side quests unlock, and you get like new raids and awesome fights and things like that. And that's where like the things I'm talking about comes in handy to help you finish that out. But once you get the New Game Plus, all this is very important. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and hope you have a great day. Peace out. Hype the video up so I can get more people to see it, and hope you guys have a fantastic week grinding Digimon.